I'm sponsored by Levi.
Sponsored by
It's
Slim
not a
Fit.
proper what next? Slim fit, no boot cuts over here, bro. No, I'll move my pants, my
You're
Levi
good.
pants. No, I'll move my Levi pants I was able to get for $27.99. I'll move them out of the way.
I'm wearing some Levi's right now too.
My hands can't reach it. I'm gonna keep the Levi's there. You
I
always
think
gotta
it
keep
looks
the
good.
Levi's there.
I think it looks good, man. All
Thank
right. I'm going to do my little intro, and then I guess away we go, right? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Human Interaction Podcast. It's been a while. It's been quite a while since I released anything. It's the first video episode that I'm attempting to do here. So I got two great guests with me. The guys from Proper Ebonics podcast. We have Kirk Griffiths.
Hello.
Yeah.
Alan Massenburg. Yeah. Also two of my my favorite local comics guys that have been around since like I started doing it. We all kind of started at the same time. So
Thanks,
yeah.
Andrew. Appreciate that.
No problem. I mean, anything you guys want to say about me, you know? Anything, any nice things that that you want to say?
I think it's very funny of you to ask that question. I think that's very. I think that's so funny to ask somebody. So like you big up somebody. Like, yes, I'm gonna give all the props to you. Now my turn. Come on.
Andrew's type of dude. He'll see someone doing a mixtape and ask for a shout out.
Oh yeah, dude. Can I get a guest spot? Let me get a guest spot.
Oh,
no, you're Andrew, man. You've been around. You're very honest on stage, and that's something. No, dead serious. That's something I've always gotten from you. And you have one set from Brewworks, an open mic that was up in Bethlehem that always stuck with me. With me. Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember? What was I saying?
You talked about menstruation, so it was on brand. You were talking about menstruation and just like the ideal of it, or not the ideal, but how that is and how crazy it is that women have that cycle. So it was an honest and it seemed genuine one, and it reminded me very much of like kind of a raw Mark Maron. So yeah, no, you do your thing, man.
Damn, thank you. You didn't have to say anything nice.
You're right. I didn't. You didn't deserve that. You didn't.
And I got one. Andrew, you were brave. I'm gonna tell you what's what I mean. You tell new jokes. There's a lot of comedians that they get a good 5-10 minutes and they stick with that forever. You attempt new jokes all the time, and I commend you for that. A lot of people, like myself, I ain't gonna lie, I'll panic and I'll just tell the same joke I've been telling for the last 5 years. Like, but I can tell you make it a point to try new shit out, and I commend you for that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little less frequent now. I haven't written a new joke that I really like or like tried one out that I really like in over a year, but I appreciate that. I think that I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I think being in a smaller scene kind of forces you to do that because, you know, when the Lizard Lounge was still going on and it was like the same 8 comics, or RCO, Reading Comedy Outlet, back in the day. It's like the same 5 comics or something like that. So they don't want to hear your same bullshit that you tried last week. So come up with something new. If you can make the same people laugh over and over week after week, you know, I think that's saying something for talent as a writer.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too, because like I've gone and done like, you know, done mics. If you go to like New York, right, you can literally do the same set 5 times a night. But like you said, if you're seeing the same people at the mic, it's like, come on, you can't keep doing that same 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You got to give us something fresh. You know what I'm saying? So it does, being in a smaller market, it's a positive. You should write a book about that. There's a positive to being in smaller markets is you have to have fresh stuff because nobody wants to keep hearing the same boring stuff. So that, yeah.
All right. Like we're bigging, Andrew, we're bigging you up and giving you ideas. Like, come on, bro. Like this.
No one's ever told me I should write a book before, so that's a good step. That's a step in the right direction, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, fuck. I told you guys before we started this, like I am void of ideas. I wrote 2 down. I have 2 things that I thought of today, but
Alan, I had some ideas and I was like, damn, we're gonna burn a Proper Ebonics episode.
Oh yeah, don't do that on account of me, man.
No, it's I do have something I do want to talk about. We'll re-talk about it later too on the podcast.
Also, Kirk, real quick, is the next time we record ours is a week from now, so things will happen, within a week.
This may be a dry week. Things may not pop off this week.
I don't know.
Andrew, I'm doing this podcast hoping that things pop off in the nation, because Alan and I need to talk about stuff.
Damn, by the way, you should be careful what you wish for, to be honest. You want things to pop off in the nation the way the fucking nation's going, dude. There could be some real shit popping off.
Yo, pop, baby, pop. Andrew, do you watch boxing? I know the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones happened this weekend. Is this something you watch?
I don't regularly watch boxing. I think the last match bout, I guess they're called, the last bout that I watched was Mayweather Pacquiao. Like,
oh wow, yeah, about
a while. The like first one, didn't they do a second one, or was that canceled?
Yeah, no, they did it.
Yeah,
I don't remember the results of it. I'm pretty sure Mayweather won both.
Well, Floyd never lost, so.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He also has only landed like 3 punches in his entire life.
He's a defensive fighter. Yeah. Defensive fighter. He's good at it, but it's not. I find entertainment in how fast he is. And speaking of defensive fighting, that's Alan. First of all, did you watch it, Alan?
Yo, I wanna make a confession live on the air here.
What's up?
I pirated it. Like, I got it for free. I got it for free.
Well,
I got it for free on you.
I'm censoring that. Holy shit.
Yo, shout out to Reddit. They had the stream ready.
That's how I watch all sports now, actually. It's just Reddit streams, because I don't have cable. So
yeah.
I didn't want to pay $50 to watch them 2 old men fight. You know what I mean? So I was like,
yo, you know what though? It was kind of a decent card, just off like the 2 fights alone, like the co-main event and the main event. And the main event, it went all 8 rounds. And usually they go like $60 or $70. So $50 I wasn't mad at. I also just wasn't going to pay it. But I did end up watching it though. And Roy Jones, that was I would describe that as defensive fighting 101, dodging the bullet of Mike Tyson and his rib shots, but maybe not as at speed as Floyd Mayweather. What did you think of it?
Listen, dog, I don't blame Roy Jones Jr. for dodging Mike Tyson. I don't know if he was punching like 30-year-old Mike Tyson. He was punching hard to me. I was like, it looked like it hurt. Like,
I hear it. Yeah, that was wild. That was good on him, man. Still in shape and all that.
Yeah, I don't think when you have that kind of like punching power, I don't think you lose that. He's still jacked. Like, he's still a monster, Yeah.
And he trained for like a year too. It wasn't like he was just doing this recently.
One of the things that one of the commentators said that I didn't think about is, when it comes to boxers, with age, one of the first things you lose is speed. Yeah. So like Andrew just said, like, Tyson wasn't big on speed. He was big on power. So he didn't lose his power. He just lost his speed, but lost a little bit of power. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. They had Snoop Dogg commentating that, John.
I know, yeah. They're getting mixed reviews. I loved it. I thought Snoop was good. They're saying that he spoke over, because it was Sugar Ray Leonard, rather, Israel Alzanya, who is the middleweight champion of the UFC. It was actually pretty cool that he did the commentary on it. Snoop, and I always forget the dude's name, but he's like a known boxing commentator, Morel Rollo or something like that. Yeah. But people are saying that Snoop monopolized and didn't let the other 3 talk as much. I disagree.
Listen, so Andrew, did you watch the fight?
No, I didn't.
So Snoop, they had Snoop commentating, right? And traditional boxing commentators, they're talking about the 1s and 2s of boxing and technical stuff.
Right, Jack.
But imagine that they're like high and talking in slang. It's amazing. It was so much better than regular commentators, yo. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was entertained by that. Andrew, we recommend it. Proper suggestions. I recommend the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones fight.
I'm sure I could rewatch it somewhere. The last time I paid for a fight was that Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and it was so boring. I felt cheated,
Something Tyson said after this is that he credits the YouTube stars for bringing boxing back, because he says that boxing, in his words, is a dying sport. And because of these YouTube stars like the Jake Paul dude and his brother and all that, and them calling out random people, it's been getting viewership back into it. I think that's something we're definitely seeing with this last bout.
Hopefully that works for comedy too.
Oh, the YouTube ones, yeah. That's
yeah. A lot of people are going on YouTube with this. Was it Sam Morril just put a special out on YouTube?
Did you watch it?
I did not. I seen the thumbnail the day I was scrolling on YouTube, but people
halfway,
are putting.
It's decent. It's
people
good.
putting comedy specials on YouTube now. Like
Norman did his. Liz Mealy put one out as well.
Who was just really at the Phantom Power? She was just at the local venue
with
in
Todd
Lancaster.
Barry. I booked her for a show earlier on this year at the Lizard Lounge before that closed, and then the entire world fucking fell apart. So that was a little frustrating. I think that's kind of what led to my downfall. Obviously, pandemic with comedy kind of screwed everybody, but
Speak for yourself, homie.
Yeah,
speak for yourself.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I should have kept doing the podcast. I shouldn't have taken such a big break, because you guys can at least get together and run, quote unquote, run bits, or like try to mine for bits and shit like that, just talking with each other. And I did absolutely nothing.
You were the first guest in my new apartment. When you came over to do the interview with me.
I thought you had a Oscar party before that, the night before.
Oh yeah, you're right then. Yeah.
You were his 10th guest.
I was the first single solo guest.
I don't know if that's the case.
You had a big booth night that night, huh, Kirk?
Yeah, well, it was movie night and all that stuff. The Oscars on. I just had my frame. It's funny. I found the receipt for this frame just today. I was like, why do I still have that? I put it in the living room and everything. It was a whole thing. It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, man. But that shutdown for everybody happened, man. And I wouldn't let not doing your podcast deter you, because I think, let me tell you why, right? Because I got another podcast. I got the Mass Hysterical Show, right? And I took like a 2-month break from that because I didn't have Kirk to tell me I needed to record. You know what I mean? Like, so
and Pat wasn't telling me to record. So it's shouts producer Pat.
So like, I wasn't like mentally. I didn't realize it though. Like I was just in the dumps. I just didn't feel like it. Like, but sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need the time, that break. So as long as you got a plan to get back and eventually come back, that's what matters. But like sometimes we all need that fucking break, bro, because this world is crazy. This year has showed us that.
Yeah, I actually taking the break from doing stand up, I think, and then going back a couple times now when they started doing the mic at Phantom Power. Shout out Phantom Power, Millersville, Pennsylvania. When they started doing that mic again, and I was popping in every once in a while, I was like, oh shit, I really do like being on stage. Like I really do like doing this. I just got burned out because I was putting so much time and effort into getting nowhere.
Right.
But now it's like, well, I can go have fun doing this,
Yeah, and we're lucky in the sense that a lot of places have been doing like outdoor mics, and a lot of them have stopped with it getting colder. Phantom Power still going. It's optional. Obviously it's optional. Every open mic is optional.
Right. No. This is a mandatory open mic.
You gotta be there, Kirk.
So it's like, it's cool that we have that as a local resource as well. That like, worst case on a Monday night, we can perform comedy.
Right.
And I think that part is pretty cool. And I try to take advantage of that when I can, because it is getting colder.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens throughout the winter with comedy, because
it's going to get, listen, the term "it's getting cold outside," it means more than just the actual temperature. So like when I'm like, yo, it's about to get cold outside, I mean, things about the get it's scarce. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's gonna be for me. Oh, I'm almost like my computer over. Oh, no.
It's getting real scarce.
No, I'm saying for me, doing stand-up comedy, it helps me mentally, and I didn't realize in the pandemic how much. So I mean, so like I'm literally in the process right now of like, I understand it's getting cold out, so I want to ramp it up doing my podcast. I want to ramp up doing other things to keep me mentally busy comedy wise, because from December to February, I might not do any shows. You know what I mean? So it's like, gotta find time.
Andrew, have you done any virtual shows?
I have not performed on any. I judged when they were doing the roast battle. Okay. A bunch of the local people were doing the. I think Jared was running it. Jared McCauley. And yeah, I judged one of the roast battles, but I haven't actually performed.
Would you try it?
I don't know. It's tough, but I also used to say I never want to be on an outdoor show again in my life, and now I think you were talking about that on Proper Ebonics actually, one episode. You like, it's crazy how it used to be like outdoor show. No, fuck that. Never right. Will I there's too many variables, and now you're just like, oh, I'll take what I can get, you know?
Yeah. And you know, it's weird. Now it's not so bad. Like I remember the first time doing comedy since the pandemic hit, and it was an outdoor show in like a huge like marketplace in Allentown.
That doesn't sound great.
That's any other time they would be like, that's a nightmare. But I think also the audiences have adjusted as well. And they're a little bit more accommodating to, you know, okay, one, we don't get a lot of entertainment. Let's actually really pay attention to this. Whereas back, you know, last year, if you're at an outdoor show, you may take it a little bit more relaxed. You may, you know, take a phone call, play tag in the middle of the audience. I don't know what people do. But
it sounds like you do know what people do. It sounds like you're very familiar with things that happen during outdoor shows.
Kirk is the people.
Yeah. I will tag people on stage. Be like, your turn. They'll be like, what do I do? My turn again. It's wild. But yeah, that has changed a little bit. So it does seem, it's not, I haven't had much of a bad experience outdoors, because I guess for the most part, it seems like everyone, including the audience, seems grateful to be there.
Yeah, I can agree. I agree with that. Everybody's like we all know it's not normal circumstances. You know what I mean? The audience got a bunch of pent up energy. They want to have a good time. Everybody wants to be outside and just trying to, like, because doing comedy in front of people, it makes the people think there's a little bit of normalcy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, right. we're at an event. People don't even think about outdoors. Like once you say hello, once the host say hello, thank you for coming out, nobody's even thinking about outdoors. You know, you can make jokes about being outside, but like nobody's really like concerned at that point.
Yeah, if they're comfortable. I have like probably 3 to 5 jokes just set for outdoors now. Where I've got to burn them whenever I go indoors. They booked me for a show. I'm like, it hopes that it's outside. I have a great Grand Theft Auto reference that I can make, and I can't do that inside.
One thing I do say though during the outdoor shows is, I've been saying it hasn't happened yet. I'm still waiting on the first comedian to get shit on by a bird. I just I can't wait for that to happen.
Shout out to Ian Webster.
Yeah, I was gonna say where you got to get Ian on a show.
Oh, he got shit on?
Not on stage. He has a bit how like he was looking up and a bird shit in his eye. And he has a thing where he counts down the days. Yeah. It's been 876 days
since a bird shit in my eye.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Hey, he's another one of the guys that has been around for forever, you know. When I think of
married a comedian.
That's strange.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Andrew? Would you marry a comedian?
If they'd have me, sure. I'm not exactly a picky man. I could see how it would be a weird relationship. I mean, I lived with another comedian of the opposite sex for almost a year, and it got weird. Because you start writing jokes about each other, and then you're like, you're trying to hide that it's about that person. You're just trying to, like, it's a general joke, but like they know and you know that joke was about you. And
feel free to edit this out. I remember you telling a whole bit, and the person that you have, the roommate, was in the room.
Yeah.
I was like,
there's nothing that needs to be edited out. She was very aware. I made it very clear before we even moved in. I was like, I think I'm catching feelings. And it was like, but we both still needed a place to live. And like, I don't know. I've spent my entire life being like having crushes on every girl that I've ever met. So it was not a big deal for me. I know how to operate around all that, you know.
Go ahead. Ask your question, because you might answer mine.
I was going to say, have you ever secured the bag on that one? Have you ever like followed through in the sense that like, oh, this is a crush that I have, and then it turns out to be a thing?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about a thing, but I hooked up with a chick.
That's all that
That's
matters.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and we're still friends now, and
Ooh, even better.
yeah, she's married and pregnant though, so it's
Ah, you don't need her no more.
yeah. No, that was kind of a thing where we knew each other from like high school, and then met up when we were in our mid-20s, and just started hanging out, and then it was like, oh, like this chick's really cool, and I'm gonna make a move, and like, holy shit, it worked. Okay, that's amazing.
Good
It's
feeling right there.
always good to double back and get those high school buns.
Yeah.
That's what he referred to it as too. He went down his list of like, all right, high school buns.
Yeah.
Allison, she got the buns.
How do you know her
Sharika,
name? No.
she had the yams. Trying to get them yam cakes. Raymond, he got a big butt. Listen, I don't know. You know, it's a wide range of things, man.
I had the big butt in high school. Actually,
Yeah, my boy, you had a big butt.
Oh, I had a donker. I had some junk in the trunk, as the kids used to say. I don't know if they still say it, but
so where'd it go? You said you had. Did
where's that booty at?
Did you lose the luggage? Where'd it go?
Oh, I lost it.
When you travel with Delta.
Yeah. Well, I was a video game tester when I lived in Los Angeles, and I had a bunch of desk jobs and just pretty much like sat on my ass. So it flattens it out over the years of doing that. You ever hear of trucker butt? Like that's from sitting. It's when you're just flat. There's nothing that I'm not standing. If I were on, this is a bit. I gotta fucking do this on stage.
Andrew, you gotta get that polywog back, bro. That's what the kids call it by now. They call it polywog.
Okay.
It's like frog butt with a polywog.
I never heard that word, polywog.
Yeah, it's like, you remember Gullah Gullah Island? There was that yellow frog. That was a polywog.
That was Binya Binya.
Binya was a polywog. And he had that big butt.
He had that big butt.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, that's funny.
Man.
But to get what I wanted to do was I wanted to go back to the because I know I asked you about dating a comedian to see if that was something that you would do, and I wanted to share my story about the one that I did one time.
Oh, you dated a comedian?
No, I just did it. So
okay.
No, it was one comedian. This is when I realized this is when I realized I could not date a comedian. Like, I couldn't be in a relationship with a comedian because it's too close. It's like having sex with somebody you work with. Like I had sex with this girl. I never forget it. It was her birthday. I didn't really want to do it, but she was like, "It's my birthday." I was like, "I guess." And so I gave it to her for her birthday, right? And she was just crazy after that. She was like trying to tell me every show I was on. She wanted me to ask the host, "Could she be on the show too?" And I was like, "Yo, you're not even funny." Like I want.
Damn.
I can't. So at that moment, we ended up blocking each other on everything. As a matter of fact, she blocked me on everything because I was. This is years ago. I was just
was PA or New York?
She actually lived in Baltimore, but
I'm trying to narrow it down.
Who is it?
You don't know her. You no one. I told you she's not funny. Nobody knows her. Right? So
I've been to open mics.
Nah, I
know quite a few comics from the area.
Nope, I'm trying to tell y'all. I guarantee you, y'all may know people she know, but y'all don't know her because I didn't even know her, and I know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, but she was just so crazy trying to get on every show that I was on. She was telling me she had beef. She was telling me about comedians she had beef with who I was cool with, and I was like, she was just real messy. I was like, I can't do this. This is not worth it.
It can get rough, especially when it comes to interfering with shows and all that. Yeah. One thing is to be like, hey, can you put me on a show? That's kind of annoying, whatever. But say if that person is funny and they have some sort of clout with it, they could really kind of put a spit on your name. They're yeah. So I get why people avoid that. It's the coworker, I think, is a good analogy for it.
Yeah, or next door neighbor, which I've done before. No, it's not.
That went wrong? No? Why?
Wow, really? Because they're always there. They're always right next door. There's a Seinfeld episode about it. You don't fuck your neighbor because they're always there. I was also I've talked about this on the podcast before too, but this is when I was living in LA. And I kind of had a girlfriend back here in Pennsylvania still, but we.
You were single. You were single.
No, I totally was. But it was I was. She ended up moving out to California to live with me, but I had already been banging the neighbor as well, and they didn't know about each other until Valentine's Day.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Animal.
Dude, no, I'm an idiot. I'm not an animal. I'm a fucking idiot is what I am.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'll read.
You put you on an episode of Maury, bro. Like,
you really could.
Reckless.
There's so many moments in my life that could be a movie or like HBO miniseries. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. If anybody from HBO listens to this,
or a section on Backpage, it sounds like you could get some few sections on Backpage in your life.
Hell yeah, Dear Penthouse. No, okay. So I'll recap this story since it is just a demonstration of how fucking inept I am when it comes to women. So this girl, my neighbor that I was banging, Valentine's Day was coming up, and she had mentioned that like no one had ever taken her out for Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'll take you out. Like, no big deal, right? It's only Valentine's Day. It's not like it matters. Again, being stupid and not understanding how women think, or some women anyway. So I agree to take her out, and then I'm talking to the girlfriend, quote unquote girlfriend, on the phone, and I tell her that like, oh yeah, she asked me if I had any plans, if I remember correctly. This is over 10 years ago, so a little fuzzy on the details, but I tell her that I'm taking the neighbor out for Valentine's Day, and she like freaks out because
caught a flight.
not quite then, not at that point, not at that moment.
Did she know that she knew that the neighbor was a female?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she knew. So she like freaked out and called me later that night, like all kinds of fucked up on all kinds of shit, like crying, like I love you, but like if I moved out there, would you want to be with me? And it was like, yeah, I proposed to her before I moved. Like I right. Fucking, again, 19 years old, fucking idiot. So we have that whole discussion, and we decide that she's gonna move out to live with me. The next morning we're talking again, and I'm like, hey, do you remember that conversation that we had last night? And she said no, and that should have been the end of it. I should have just let it go at that point, but I reminded her because I wanted her to be there, what we had talked about, that she was going to move out, and she said she still felt that way, so she was going to do that. Cut to Valentine's Day. Oh, nice. Zoom gave me a gift and removed the 40-minute time limit on my fucking Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I saw it too. This meeting has been upgraded by the host.
Oh, that came up on your screen?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a good thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just saw it as well.
No, it's all good. It's all good. The end of the story is...
no, this is getting good.
Great shame for me. So Valentine's Day comes up. We're going out. I'm going out with the neighbor, and she drives me everywhere in LA because I don't fucking know where I'm going, and she's lived there for a while. So we're in the car. We're in like the parking garage, and she's wearing this hot little red dress. Like, she looked great. She fucking dressed up to the nines, you know. And I'm wearing like something like this, probably just a t-shirt, because I didn't own collared shirts back then. And I tell her that, that I had this conversation with my girlfriend, who she was kind of aware of. Like, we had talked about it. We commiserated over exes. That's how we hooked up. Oh. And I said, we decided that we're gonna try to make it work. She's gonna move out here, or she's at least gonna come visit and see if she likes it. She overreacted. I mean, she lost her shit. She started like giving me the whole like, basically like throwing herself at me on top of me, and just like, come on, like, just fuck me then, like, that's all I'm good for, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, no, like, I actually do like you. I'm just an idiot. Like, I don't I'm 19 years old and I don't know how the fucking world works yet. And even at that age, like, we're in a car in a parking garage, and it's me and a chick, and there's a struggle going on. You know, like that's the picture that you see from the outside. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm out.
So you're in a car when this is happening?
Yeah. It parked in a parking garage.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So exactly. I saw Alan's eyes just like, woo, yes. Yeah, that's the image that someone from the outside would get. So I got out of the car and just started fucking walking home from Santa Monica to fucking Culver City, which is where I lived. We went out to Santa Monica and I was in Culver City. It's a long walk.
Why don't you catch an Uber or a taxi?
10 years ago.
2007, dude. That shit didn't. Well, taxis existed, but it's also LA.
You could have caught a horse. You could have caught a horse.
She actually found me and then like picked me up and gave me a ride home then. So
she didn't have to drive far. She drove 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I saw where you walked.
Yeah. I didn't know where I was going either. So I'm kind of glad that she did help me out. Because that, like, seriously, like there's no GPS, like smartphones didn't exist. There's no GPS or anything like that. Like I would have had to like go to the library and fucking look up MapQuest and print it out and take it with me. You know, like
right.
Yeah.
It's funny how like, because you mentioned you're 19 and how we don't fully, we could look back and things and be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that. Like in hindsight, it's interesting of like, we feel as if like we have like this grand knowledge because we're removed from the situation. But history shows that if that pattern were to show itself again, we'd be more likely to make the same mistake than to like do an altercation to it, or alternation to it rather.
Yeah, I haven't made that same mistake
of like telling your side girl about your main girl.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to have a side and a main girl to do that. You have to have at least one girl. And I have not since then.
You're ahead of me on that one. That has not been a situation I've had to deal with, like the whole like side and main thing. I'm very I don't have the energy for it. I'm very much like, all right.
Well, again, it wasn't like a oh, I'm gonna play these girls or whatever. Obviously that's not how I operate. But it was definitely the only girl that really ever paid me any attention up until that point was my girlfriend. And then this girl was like cute and she liked me and like wanted to fuck, and you know, and it's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do when you're 19, right? Is just get it all out. And then I spent like all of my 20s just not doing that at all. I just like, yeah.
Are you still friends with either of the two?
I don't talk to the girlfriend as much, but we are still like friends. We like kept in touch after that. She's actually in a relationship with another woman now, and they just had a child. So ruined her for everybody. And the neighbor, no, she fucking hates me, and I'm sure she was a comedian too. She was the one who like kind of got me interested in comedy at like an earlier age.
Are you talking about Judy Gold?
Yeah. She was doing stuff at like the Hollywood Improv and stuff when we were hanging out, but I'm sure she wouldn't have the nicest things to say about me. I'm pretty sure she would not. She would be one of those women who could really throw a wrench in the spokes if she really wanted to. So
find out. I'd hit her up, be like, hey, I'm coming to LA. I was hoping to get a guest spot in this outdoor show.
I have like since sent her messages just trying to like, because she was cool. Like I did like her and she was funny, and like I started doing comedy and I knew she did comedy and she lived in LA, you know, try to work out some connections. But she didn't respond to any of my messages. Not a single one with anything nice, with anything pleasant anyway.
You're a heartbreaker. Who would have thought?
Dude, I'm telling you, back in the day, I was a good looking young man. I didn't know. I was
looking dude. What are you talking about? You still look good.
Oh, actually, when I was getting the camera set up and everything, I was like, I think I found my angle. Where is it? Like, I think I got it. I just got to take a bunch of pictures there and put them on the dating apps.
Not a bad idea.
Just straight on, like, hey, how's it going?
Well, don't do that face. But like,
The like turtle. He like Dana Carvey. I don't know.
It's like, why is Andrew so still? He's barely moving. This is a good angle. Leave him alone. This is a good angle.
All his photos are the same. Just switch shirts.
Do a little pouty look.
Do you do the dating apps?
Oh yeah, I'm on fucking all of them. And they don't actually. I was just swiping as you guys like entered the waiting room. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss them because I was swiping. I was trying to make something work, but it doesn't. It just.
So
doesn't.
are you a endless swiper, or do you pick and choose who you swipe on? Because I know for me, when I remember when Tinder and all that first came out, right? I used to like. That's when I'll be on a highway, right, driving from city to city. Just I wouldn't even be looking at my phone. I'd just be driving, swiping, and driving.
Yeah, no, I'm picky. I mean, I'm not like picky, but I'm not just swiping right on everybody. No.
Yeah. No, see,
I swipe right on a lot of them. I do,
Yes.
but it's I found that Bumble has the better quality. Women, that's kind of
Partners, sort of thing, like prospects.
Yeah, there's a greater percentage of women that I'm attracted to on Bumble. There we go. Now it's about me. It's not about them. And Tinder is. I feel like I could get laid a lot easier on Tinder.
Tinder is a crazy place, man. You can. I haven't been on there. I haven't been on there in years. You know what I'm saying? But it's a crazy place. That's why I would swipe right on everything because it's a numbers game. I would then go through the pictures of like, yay, nay. But like when you're driving, you can't look. You know what I mean?
No, well you can, but
like I'd be on the turnpike. Like listen, see what we got in Exton today.
It's
nice.
true. It's like, all right, I'm in this location. What? I'm not gonna get it.
I mean,
when else am I going to be able to swipe right on someone in Coatesville? When is that ever happening?
Well, and I feel, hey, I mean, I was casting a wide net for a long time. I had a 18 to 100 age range at 100 miles. I was just like, fucking bring it. Let me.
Yeah, I set mine when I first got it because I was new to Tinder, like 2020 type new. And I was like, yo, it'd be kind of cool to date someone older. So I set it to like 40 and 60, 40 through 60. Didn't have much luck or whatever. And it wasn't, I've come to terms that I'm not going to like meet my wife on Tinder, but who knows? But I was thinking about it would be like, oh, it'd be kind of neat. Be a little spoon.
Yeah. Well, so I have a friend who fucking cleans up and I don't know how he does it. Like he pays with a new, he does pay for Bumble, I think he said. But I mean, I've never paid for any of the dating apps. So either way, I don't know how he does it. Like he is 6 feet tall. He's a thin, handsome dude. Like he checks all the boxes for sure.
That's how he does it. That's confident. Yeah, confidence helps, and also that when people see the 6 foot mark, I think that's a big indicator for a lot of people. Because that's
absolutely. Yeah. I can't tell you how many profiles I've seen from women who are like, and I'm sure there's so many jokes about this already. I've seen so many memes about it, but it's like, yeah, if you're under 6 feet, just swipe left. Like, well, fuck you, bitch. The fuck? I can't help that.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, do you feel? Sorry, Alan, were you about to say something?
I was going to say that I used to have a joke that short men shouldn't procreate because you're just making angry people.
But I'm not
just
short.
As he says, like
that's
fucking
the thing.
bitch.
I'm not like short. I'm not fucking 5'2" out here. You know, I'm 5'8". Right. That's like average size. No, there are more of me than there are people who are 6 feet or taller. That's all.
I think the national average is probably like 5'9" or 5'10" or something like that. So yeah, you're good, man. It's like, do you feel that
Thank
there
you
should
for
be
reassuring me, by the way.
do you feel as if there should be the equivalent of that, like how people have to put their height? Do you feel that there should be a requirement to put weight? Because a lot of men feel that they would like to have a general idea of that. Do you feel like that would be a fair trade-off?
I absolutely. I mean, yes, that's the meme. Like that's the meme. If like. Yeah. If I put in my profile like, hey, if you're over 110 pounds, just swipe left. It'd be like, I'd be a fucking asshole, but they can They can do whatever they want because we are assholes. But you
would be an asshole and a pedophile because only kids weigh that less. Like that little.
That's weird that he knew that number right at the top. Andrew, why'd you know that you threw out that number?
No, if you remember the comedian that I lived with that we mentioned earlier, she didn't even weigh 100 pounds if you fucking put steel-toe boots and a soaking wet outfit on her. I don't know.
Fair point.
Well, yeah. I didn't want to say 110 pounds soaking wet because that sounds like maybe that's just me having a dirty mind. I know it's a common phrase, but like soaking wet, thinking of women just, puts my mind in a certain spot.
Way to broadcast that one. I'll mess with it.
I used to have a joke about that. That was worked into the joke that you were mentioning earlier. Where it's like, because we used to drive on the turnpike because we used to go to Philly every night. Right. So, and she used to just sleep in the back seat every night we'd be coming through the toll booth, and there's just this fucking tiny girl sleeping in my back seat at 3 a.m. every single night. I can't imagine what that dude was thinking, but yeah, to describe her, I was like, she's lucky if she weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. And I said, so when I'm around, she's like 110.
Oh boy.
And then I followed that up with, and every woman in this room just lost 15 pounds. So it's a good joke, right? I mean, that's a well-written joke.
I feel as if
no one likes
it. That's the importance of outdoor mics. Gotta try them out.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of the problem with my comedy is that I write good jokes, like they're well written jokes, they're well structured, but it's just the actual subject material. Everyone is like, "What the fuck are you?"
All right, look, question for you. It's a good question because I've been thinking about this and I'm having a lot of talks with people. What do you think is more important, the structure or the joke? You know what I mean? Or like, because like for me, like I don't think I really learned how to write a joke until the pandemic. Like I feel like for me, a lot of it's just been like, here's what I feel and think. I don't really have like a 1, 2, 6 or whatever. I mean, 1, 2, C or you know what I mean. I just didn't have like the boom, 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 boom. So what do you think is more important? The actual knowing the structure of the joke or like
the charisma of it, like delivering?
I don't know.
Performance element versus like actually writing a joke.
I think there's I think you can be a good performer, and I gotta switch that around. I think you can write a well-structured joke and not have the charisma to pull it off. You know what I mean? So I think you got to have the balance between the two. I don't think one's more important than the other, but people can get by on just being charismatic.
Oh yeah.
But if you're not writing good jokes, I don't know. I don't think if the content isn't there, if the subject matter is just kind of off-putting or whatever, like it's not going to hit a wide crowd, it's not going to hit a wide audience.
I think charisma is definitely important because it's like, if you're reading the manuscript or just like, I'm trying to think of like a good, The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, you're reading that just right on stage. It's some great content, but if you don't really have charisma, no one's really going to be compelled. Whereas if you have charisma, that's automatically going to bring people in. Mm-hmm. I do think long-term wise, it's better to have joke structure and know how to write a joke. I think that's going to create more endurance for you, comedic endurance, than strictly just having charisma. But to Alan's point, it's good to have both.
Yeah, when I was a salesman at this one job, right, I would train, like I was like the senior salesman. I would train all the new salesmen, I would train them, right? And I would always tell them the same thing. They'd be like, yo, when customers ask me a question, like if I don't know the answer and I'm not near somebody that can give me the answer, what should I do? I say, you got 2 things you can do. You can be honest with them. You can be like, yo, I do not know, but I'll find out the answer and I'll get back to you. Or you could confidently say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like a customer, like I worked at a produce company, right? And the customer said, like, does the green leaf lettuce crisp up when you put it on a burger or something stupid, right? I'll be like, Of course it does, because the green leaf, once it meets the burger, I would say anything.
It gets crispy once it meets the beef.
Yeah. Right. I will literally I told him, you got two options. You can be honest and be like, yo, I don't know, I'll get back to you. Or you can confidently say anything. And if you confidently say anything, they will believe you. I mean,
yeah, you're the guy who's supposed to know. So why would you tell him something false?
exactly.
Why would you lie to him?
Exactly. So I think
it's not like you get commission on sales or anything.
But that's the thing, though. I was being confident. I was being charismatic, and I was just. They believed me. They were more inclined to understand what I'm saying. So if I was just like, yeah, I think it might. The lettuce might crisp up once you put it in a burger, but I'm not sure. Like, they're not going to believe you.
I want to. Who asked you that? That's a stupid question in the first place.
The question doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Does it crisp up on a burger? Yeah.
I was trying to think of anything. I was.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like a real life anecdote.
No, but my point was like, though, but by confidently and charismatically answering the thing, they believe me, and I realize that with comedy too. So if I'm delivering something that I'm not sure in, if I seem unsure of my material, then the audience is gonna be unsure in their reaction. So if I'm like confidently up there, I could be confidently bombing, but it's still funny. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I don't know. That's just what I get.
It's interesting, just like how that is for humans, because I think that is for not only sales, comedy, for everything. Like confidence really sells. And I wonder why. Like, say if you see someone that they have the credentials, say you're talking to the Pope about some sort of like religious endeavor, and he's having a timid day. He's just not feeling himself. He's getting a little, he got the little sniffles and all that stuff. He's not really feeling confident, but he tells you the truth. In a lot of people's minds, mind you, I'm using kind of like a huge example, and they probably would believe the Pope. They would be like, I'm not sure, but I need a second opinion, sort of thing, where it's like, but you just got it from the Pope. What is it about confidence and a lot of times like kind of false bravado that gets people going, that gets them compelled, versus what can be factual? I always misunderstood that.
I think it's just people want to, whatever concern they have or whatever question they have, they want answered, and they think, well, I'm talking to the expert. So if this expert is confident in what he's saying, then why would it be wrong? He's the guy who's supposed to know.
Or she.
Yeah,
are they?
Yes.
Now I'm in trouble.
They are the person who is supposed to know. No, thank you for correcting me. Thank you for checking my privilege, Kirk. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Something I have to do. I should do more of it. I've spent so much time over the past couple months just by myself that like I do almost forget that there are other people in the world that like I have to interact with from time to time, because I have not been outside of going to open mics and like Turkey Hill. That's what I got. That's my human interaction. What's that?
Do you live solo?
Yes, I do. I got the cat. I talk to the cat.
That counts. Yeah, the cat counts. Shout out to the cat.
She talks back. She does.
She barks. Like what?
Dude, she is a very loud vocal cat. I'm kind of surprised she's not down here. Anytime I'm like on the phone or anything, like doing like a Zoom call with a friend or something, she is like in my shit, just right here. Cause I don't know. She's like, who are you fucking talking to, dude? There's no one else here. I am the only one here. Who are you talking to?
It's a rough time to live solo. Pandemic's a rough time. I have a roommate right now, and that part's been cool. It's like, oh, okay, there's some social interaction, especially in the beginning of this. Now it's kind of eased up, and arguably it ease back down a little bit. That may pop off soon, so we'll see.
I'm pretty sure it's going to. I think we've been setting record cases for a couple weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
So it's
putting numbers on the board. Yeah,
but yeah, big numbers, dude.
Yeah,
big numbers.
Yep. I'm about to be locked back down too, man. I don't. I was thinking about I don't know if I'm gonna be doing the mics and stuff. Like I don't know because I was pretty in the house for a while, but I kind of got lax with my shit.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do when eventually it's like, okay, do I want sanity or I think I can spare half an hour outside in a public place just to like get out of the house.
It's outdoors too.
Yeah, it depends on what activity you're talking about. I don't think open mics are going to be going, dude. I think it's too cold to do them outside, and unless it's like an underground show in a basement somewhere, I don't think you're gonna see them popping up, which is sad. It's gonna be tough. Like, I mean, you see so many venues closed already, and then it's going to be a whole winter and probably another spring in the summer of not being able to have shows.
Listen, at that point though, spring, I'm back outside. I'm back. I'm doing shows outside.
I mean, if we have a winter like last year, 2 years ago, it was like, I think the average temperature was like 50 degrees. So it's like, I can handle that, you know?
Yeah.
And they're talking about I don't know what it's going to come out to be, but already they have one approved. I don't know if it was approved yet, the vaccine, the Pfizer one, but there's another one just submitted for an approval. What was it?
Moderna.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
There were like 3 or 4, I think, that I saw, and they I think the Pfizer one was the one that like they found some really negative side effects. I think they might have pushed that one back a little bit.
Oh, geez,
I know I saw it about one of them. I don't remember which one it is, so don't take my word for it. Just look it up. Remember,
can you imagine being that person?
Viewers, listeners, I'm an idiot. Sorry, go ahead, Alan.
I was gonna say, could you imagine being that person that took the vaccine? It was like, yeah, you're the one that we noticed something's wrong with. Like,
yeah. Oh, I have a story about that too. So I'm no longer allowed to donate blood ever again in my life.
Okay.
Because I had
don't tell us you got AIDS.
A false positive on the HIV antibody test.
I think I remember. You have a bit on this too, right?
I don't know if I might have talked about it on stage, but I don't think I ever made an actual bit out of it.
Man, I've not.
But yeah,
tell me about this, because that will blow my mind.
It was fucking terrifying.
I will
freak out.
Okay,
right back.
I'll tell the story to Alan.
Tell me.
We and the viewers, the lovely viewers,
right?
All one of you, which is me. It's me. I'm the viewer. So it was through work. We did a blood drive through an old employer, and actually my mom worked there too, which makes this even worse. So they took the blood and everything. Like, I donated blood, and so I got a letter, or actually before the letter even came in the mail, it was like the weekend after, or after the weekend, they had like the stats of like, this is how many people donated blood, this is how many lives we saved, blah blah blah, like, and it was like 35 donors, 34 accepted. And so everyone then is like, wait, what? Whose blood who wasn't accepted, like blah blah blah. And we're all curious, we're all spreading rumors. And
it's that guy over there.
Yeah, I wake up, I get the mail the one morning, and I see a letter from the Red Cross, from the American Red Cross, and I'm like, okay, it's just a thank you. That's all. They're just saying thanks. That's what I'm telling myself. They're like, hey, awesome blood, you're the best blood ever. And so I'm going through, and literally I had like just woken up, so I'm like all foggy brained and everything, and reading this letter, and it's like, your blood failed the HIV antibody test, the initial HIV antibody test. And so obviously I fucking woke up right then. I was like, what the fuck? Kept reading, and they're like, we ran like 8 more tests and it's fine, you don't have HIV. Like, it was just a false positive. But like I still had to do the like call the women that I had sex with and be like, hey, this happened, which at that point it was only the girlfriend and the neighbor from California.
But wait, why though? Why'd you have to call them if it was negative? It was that
was just a moral obligation that I felt like.
You didn't have the antibodies?
What's that?
Because you didn't have the antibodies?
No, it's because I did have when they tested it, I had the antibodies in my blood. So I called the Red Cross because they're like, if you have any more questions, you can call us. And they were like, they also recommended like you should call any sexual partners you had and just notify them that they should get themselves tested, but that might have just been a thing where, they want everyone to get AIDS tests.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. What's that mean?
The fucking conspiracy to get
the
AIDS
person you spoke with got commissioned that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oop, I got 2, mark them down, made my fucking quota for the month. Getting my bonus, baby. Getting my Christmas bonus.
But look, I don't understand though. I might sound ignorant here, but when it comes to antibodies for anything, if you do have the antibodies for it, that means you had it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Yeah. That means, so like antibodies only are created in your body, in your blood to fight like that disease, but they're not apparently specific antibodies, because when I called, it's just like these antibodies are present when AIDS is also, or HIV is also present.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
that was why I was confused. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever get, if you don't mind me asking, did you ever get clarity on that as to why those antibodies were present?
Yeah, because I called, like I said, I called the Red Cross and I talked to them about it, and they were like, were you sick at all within a week or two before donating blood? And I did have like a really bad cold like a week before that, and like a sinus infection and shit. Like it was real bad. Sinuses are not down here; they're up here. But
I had a chest cold.
Well, yeah. And so what happens with me is almost every year. It hasn't happened this year yet. I get a really bad sinus infection, and I don't go to the doctor, and that it's the same bacteria that causes fucking bronchitis. So I get a really bad sinus infection, and then it goes to the lungs, and then I cough it all out for a week or two, and I'm good.
Damn,
I happens can't almost every year.
The anxiety that comes with that, not the sinus part, but like
the false positive. Yeah,
I mean for any sort of C, but let alone that one. That's a big one.
And then to take the step of getting in contact with this woman who fucking hates me and be like, oh hey, by the way, you might want to get yourself tested for AIDS.
Oh man, Judy Gold, I may have gave you HIV.
I'm
also,
so sorry.
Do you have any open spots?
Yeah.
How was that conversation?
I just sent her a Facebook message. It wasn't even much of a conversation. I was literally, I think I paraphrasing what I said, obviously, because it was a pretty long time ago. But I was like, this happened, like I'm just contacting you to let you know that I recently had a false positive on an AIDS test or HIV test, and seeing as you're one of 2 women that I have ever slept with, you should probably get yourself tested, and she was just like, all right, thanks for the info.
Okay. Oh, so she already got it. She knows she has it.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I fucking gave it to you, dude. No. No. And as far as I know, I am still good. I've had a few STD panels since then, and I'm still going strong.
He's like, I've been waiting for this text for 6 months now.
You're so late. You never go to the doctors.
No, you can get a test for free at the fucking clinic, though. So
right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay, man. That's
Thank you. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's all right. It's cool.
It's a very real thing. Very real thing.
Yeah, it was fucking terrifying. And again, like it's the second. That was the first time, but it's one of 2 times in my life that I've had like an STD scare where it's like I haven't gotten laid in fucking years. Like what?
Andrew's the first person to get an STD from eating Chinese food.
Yeah, yeah. It was the toilet seat.
He got burnt by his own hand, huh?
Yeah, where these things have been, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wonder how common that is for people that get STDs from like either they say you get crabs easily from toilet seats, or if you have like a large penis and it hangs on the bottom of the toilet.
Well, I don't have that problem. That's for sure.
No?
Yeah.
Maybe consider yourself lucky. But that's a lot of people get STDs that way as well.
Yeah, I remember a conversation in high school about that subject with some of my friends that caused me a lot of anxiety and so gave me some body image issues.
What, the
for a little
STD
while.
conversation?
No, the
Penis not being long.
penis not being
Oh, yeah,
long.
dick don't
Yes.
touch the water. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's never happened to me. And they're like, what? Wait, your dick touches the water?
That's
Like, that's crazy. I've touched like the inside of the toilet bowl before, and that's gross enough. But the water?
yeah.
Man, that's a big old flaccid dong, dude. That's a big flaccid penis to be. I'm assuming flaccid. I don't know, to droop down like that. I don't know if.
It's the only way Andrew's dick touched the water if he plank on the toilet.
Yeah, no, that is the only way it's gonna happen. That is absolutely the only way it's gonna happen. And then I mean, it's pretty much in the water. But when I'm in a seated position, my dick is not touching the water.
Oh, that's so funny.
Damn,
It's
dude.
So I have a friend. She was saying that, like, well, it's for a lot of people. It's not just a friend. She's just one that's introduced to me about like stretching. How that's a thing for a lot of people. Like when you're a baby, a lot of elders will encourage the parents.
Jelking. It's called jelking. That's the technical term for it.
Jelking.
Yeah. Shout out Matt and Shane's secret podcast. McCusker informed us all about it.
Jelking. Wait. So what exactly is it?
They like it, you can like use your hands to like train the penis to be a little longer, or you can like hang weights from it. I believe that's.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about the same. Yeah. The person I was talking to, they're like, yeah, just get your grandmother to stretch it, which is like, all right, but apparently that's the thing.
Grandma, hey,
they're babies, so it's like,
yeah, both of my grandmas are dead, so it'd be a really weird conversation to have at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma's ghost got my dick nice and long, dude.
Ew, man.
That's so crazy.
I don't know. Have you been jelked?
I'd never. Listen, man, I've never been.
You wouldn't
jelked.
know you're a baby.
No, look, I wouldn't know because my parents would probably told me. They tell me shit like that. My mom and my dad, they always
it's your 12th birthday. We have something to tell you.
Listen, my parents always talk about how they used to drop me all the time. I'm like, yo, stop telling me you used to drop me.
That's why you're a comedian today.
Right. Some screws and loops.
Yo, Andrew, do you know Will Smith once held Ellen?
No, I didn't know.
That's a real thing. Will Smith once held Ellen in his hands.
Okay, yeah. So, yes. Okay, so real quick. My dad was once Will Smith's bodyguard. So
okay.
They knew each other from West Philly back in the days, you know what I'm saying? So and when I was a baby, I got a lot of pictures of like Will Smith like holding me on the beach or like the Bahamas. Like they used to travel all the time and stuff like that.
That's wild.
Oh, nice.
So I actually got, what's that word? Jelked? I got jelked by Will Smith.
This is going to be a public video on YouTube. So any lawsuits on behalf
Will Smith knows what he did. He knows what he did.
That's that Massenburg baby I joked, huh?
Yeah. Like, motherfucker should be thanking me, not suing me. What the fuck?
Right. Oh, good.
That's I have a friend whose grandparents, just being around celebrities, I got to tell a story. I'm separated from a little bit, but my friend's grandparents were the Kobe Bryant's neighbors when he was growing up.
That's cool.
So he was like, yeah, I used to go to like grandparents for holidays, and dude would be out and fucking shooting hoops like every time. He would just be out there. Like that's all the fucking kid did.
Crazy,
play basketball.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, rest in peace. I was just thinking about that.
Right,
I forgot all about Kobe. That was before the pandemic, straight like I think January.
Yeah, that was
I got bummed out about it. I was like, oh, man.
That was like the start of the fucking downfall of 2020 was Kobe. And then
save your calendars.
Yeah. That was that was a real bummer. I was never a huge, I mean, I liked his
Don't say it. You can't say it was a huge bummer. Didn't say you weren't a huge Kobe fan. Don't say that.
No, he was. Fair. I always thought he was better than LeBron. Like he was. Okay. He was my. I wasn't into basketball that much because the Sixers were terrible and the Jazz didn't have a bunch of white boys anymore. So I was like, who do I fucking like? Jordan? Okay. You know,
just watch Larry Bird reruns. Like, oh, why can't it be like the old days?
Well, no, like, because I played basketball as a kid, and fucking, I was a white point guard, so John Stockton was my fucking dude, you know.
Yeah.
And I liked Steve Nash too, because people when I used to play like pickup basketball pretty often, and I was pretty good passer. I could do some fancy shit, and they were people would always
N1 Andrew over here.
Yeah,
start calling him hot sauce.
Fuck yeah. No, I mean I would
mild tobacco.
I don't look like the kind of guy who would be like that type of athletic. I look like a baseball player, which I also was, but or like a golfer, I guess, you know, a bowler, a really good bowler. But no, I was for how tall I'm not, I could almost dunk. Like I could almost get the ball over the rim when I was in like my peak physical form of, you know, 17
doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this. Andrew has very big calves. So those calves.
I wasn't in.
Does he?
Were you there when they did the fucking calf off at
Shout out to Logan.
Shout out to Logan Gleason.
That was years ago.
That was a long time ago, but my calves have definitely lost definition over the years. I'm thinking of getting implants. Just, you know.
Yeah, real quick, Andrew, have you spoken to Logan?
Logan and I were never really friends, to be honest.
Oh wow! I always wondered how he was funny.
He was very funny. That was back. He kind of left like right after I started, though. He moved away, and back then, no one wanted to fucking talk to me at the Lizard Lounge. So, yeah.
I literally just looked him up on Facebook, right?
Logan Gleason,
right? Just to see, because I remember him. I remember him though, and it's funny if you go on his page, you can see pictures of the calf off.
Yeah. That's like the only public post that he has.
I think it was him and Nate Marshall, right?
Yeah.
That's
dude. Damn. Shout out Nate Marshall.
Andrew, you were one of the first people I saw when I went to Lizard Lounge. I went there randomly on a Monday. Lemire hit me up, and it was like 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And right. you were one of them. And yeah, no, you're always very welcoming. So I always appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice. At that point, I was probably a month or 2 in. You know, like I didn't know anybody. I was just trying to make friends. And for some reason, after I'd been in the scene for like a year or so, like every time a new comic would show up or someone would show up for like the first time, they would like latch on to me. And I don't know why, like, because I would get there early. I'd sit at the bar, have a couple beers, try to write a set for the night, whatever. And yeah, like people, all the newcomers, I guess because I was just sitting by myself, they were like, oh, well, this guy, I can talk to this dude. I'm nervous.
This dude owns the venue, probably.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could get early up on that list.
Yeah. I got to do the announcements at Phantom Power for this past weekend with Mark Normand.
Nice.
It's kind of nice. Be on stage. Tried to be a little silly. Get my face out there, my name. Maybe they'll throw me some guest spots or a host spot every once in a while. Because they're going to keep doing shows. It seems like they're just going to keep rolling with it until it's literally too cold to do anything, which it's getting there. The Todd Barry show with Liz Mealy and Normand this past weekend.
Kyle Neff ripped it. He hosted. Kyle Neff
he crushed for Todd Barry. Yeah, he crushed that one. Audrey had a great set for Normand as well.
I believe it.
Yeah. Shout out Kyle Neff and Audrey Marsh.
Shout out.
Shout out local comics that people don't know.
I resent.
No, actually, Audrey's
Kyle Neff.
Yeah, well, he's been a guest on the podcast. We talked about his upbringing with Mennonites.
Yeah.
His cult, being in a cult, essentially. Audrey's probably going to be a guest coming up here pretty soon. So you'll get to meet her. You'll get to meet these awesome comics, everybody.
I'll be keeping a lookout for her. That's going to be dope.
Yeah. But yeah, those shows were fucking cold. Like I wore one pair of socks and it was a mistake. My feet were numb. Now, granted, for Norman, I went to both shows. Like I paid for the first one and then just hung out for the second one, and got really. I got drunk and then I called an Uber.
There you I like that. Like it or not. I'll be
hear that, police officers in state of Pennsylvania who will send me to state prison if they find out what actually happened. I called an Uber.
No, he's joking around, state police. He really did call an Uber.
It was I called myself. No, and I wasn't like hammered, but I had a decent bar tab. We'll put it that way.
No, don't put it that way either. Andrew,
I was more stoned than drunk. Okay,
Andrew, this is a super personal question. You feel free to cut this out. What stops you from calling an Uber? What kind of compels you to decide, make that choice? Is it a matter of like you feel as if you're okay to drive, sort of thing, or?
Yeah, no, and I mean at this point I do. I know my limit. And not even in like okay, well I could get a DUI right now, but I'm fine. It's more so like I know by how I'm feeling, what like my BAC actually might be. Like I'm pretty good at, because I had to have the fucking thing in my car.
Yeah.
So
you and John Jones. It's a UFC reference. Sorry.
Okay. Don't watch UFC. Sorry, I'm not a. I don't like watching.
Well, you have something in common with John Jones. Sorry.
I don't like watching people like beat the shit out of each other necessarily.
Shouts Pat George. He has a good philosophy on that as a jiu-jitsu person. It's very much like it's a consensual violence.
Yeah. I mean, I wrestled in high school, but that's a little different. Like, I don't know. You're not like throwing punches and kicks and shit like that. Like, I think like grappling feels a little more sophisticated. You know, feels a little more. I mean, it's an ancient Olympic sport. The fucking Greeks used to get oiled up and roll around it with each other. So
you're only okay with it once you get oiled up. Like if you get oil on you, you're okay with it.
Oil is absolutely necessary if you're grappling another man. You definitely. That's how I win every fight, actually, because I just break out the oil and they're just like, "Whoa, what the no, what are you doing?"
That's why you stay losing fights.
No, that's why I win. I never have to fight. The fights don't happen.
Alan, you say something about you had your kids? You had to make dinner?
Oh yeah, you know I got kids and shit I got to take care of.
This is Alan's alleged children. Every time he has to dip from something, he's like, I got to pick the kids up.
Oh, were you guys chatting? Did I miss that?
No,
it's in the chat. I saw it from the chat, the Zoom chat.
Yeah, you don't have the Zoom chat on where you can't see Zoom chats?
I didn't bring it up, no, because we're chatting now.
It pops up, but it pops up on your screen. You're on the computer, right?
I almost missed it too.
Full screen. I just didn't see it. Again, this is the first meeting that I've hosted, so
I tried to do it. I tried to do it off camera. I didn't want to do it during the show, but
let me blow up Alan's spot real quick. I love blowing up spots.
No. Listen, we got a little over an hour, so we're good to go.
This is cool.
Alan, what are you making? What are you making the kids?
I'm about to make some pan-seared cod. Actually, salmon. I'm actually making salmon cheesesteaks. Probably either tomorrow or day after. But
salmon cheesesteaks? Wait,
yeah,
what?
bro. Because listen, check. Hear me out. I got enough time to tell you about this. So I had a salmon cheesesteak one time. I went to a restaurant. I was in Conshohocken, right? I never forget.
Shouts Plymouth Meeting.
I was in Conshohocken, and at the Great American Pub, and I was eating lunch. And they had a salmon cheesesteak on the menu. And my mind was like, salmon cheesesteak. Yeah. So I ordered, this is years ago though, I ordered it and it was like salmon with like broccoli and like, it might have been like broccoli rabe and like corn, like cut off the cob. Oh my God. It was just like, with the cheese and the grease, it was delicious. So
it sounds good. I've never heard of it though.
I'm going to try to recreate it. So I've been seeing it pop up like around Philly and stuff like that. But I was like, yeah, it's about time I try to recreate.
Wait, real quick, what kind of cheese are you gonna use?
I'm probably gonna just do non-dairy provolone.
Okay. All right. I hope that comes out good.
Yeah, dude, that's salmon's like the only fish that I actually kind of like. So I'm not a big fish guy, but salmon, I can get down with some salmon, and that sounds like an interesting combination.
I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you guys when I do it. So it's either tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to do it.
Nice.
You want to queen it? There you go.
Sweet.
There you
go. You guys, what are you? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna just say.
You're right over here.
Yeah. No. Hi guys. No. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
I was just gonna wrap it up. So if you guys.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say if this comes out beforehand, Alan and I, we have a podcast, Proper Ebonics. Feel free to check it out. And speaking of fan power, which we mentioned a few times, I'll be hosting for Nick Griffin on the 5th. Maybe.
Saturday?
No, not this Saturday. It's 12th. Yes, December 12th. I'll be hosting for Nick Griffin.
This coming Saturday, which might be, I'm not sure. I was doing Mondays, so this might be next Monday, which would work out. That would be the 7th. Yeah. So that would be a good promo spot for you.
Yeah, check it out. It's a cool venue.
Yeah. Shane Gillis is going to be there coming up. That might be a pointless announcement, but December 5th, it's where I'm trying to get a guest spot. Which
also
I always
a fun
do.
Show.
Yeah, I always do that when Shane comes to town. I always try to get a fucking guest spot on his show. I feel like such a dick because it's always just coincidental that it's like, oh, Shane, like, do you need a guest spot on that show? And whoever's running it,
see if you're on there. I may be around. I'd be glad to see you on stage. Huh?
Closed mouth don't get fed, so you got to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Alan, you got anything you want to plug?
No, man, I don't actually. Yeah, go to follow me on my other Instagram, my merch page, my merchandise page. I'm trying to sell merchandise because I ain't getting booked for shows like I used to and getting paid for it. So I'm trying to do other things. So it's Mass Hysterical. It's MASS Hysterical. Follow it on Instagram. It'll take you to my website, wherever. Just everybody follow it on.
Yo, honestly, I'll say this right now: the softest clothing I've put on in the longest time. That's not even bullshit. It really is like whatever material they use. Super soft. I think I'm going to order one for my brother for Christmas. I think you had like a Black Friday situation going on, right?
It's still going on. I'll stop. It's 15% off my whole website. So Kirk, I'll turn it off the web. I'll turn the sale off once you tell me you bought your shirt. Because I plan on cutting it off at midnight, but you just let me know when. It don't fucking matter.
Appreciate that.
All right. Hopefully everybody else hears this before that Black Friday sale is cut off. And you can get some good deals over at masshysterical.com. I'll share some links in the description to the video, and I'll tag you guys on the social medias and all that stuff.
Cool.
Thank you for fucking getting me back.
Thanks for having us.
Get me back on the horse, guys.
Appreciate it.
This has been cool, man.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Later, man.
Peace.